What's going on, guys? It's your boy Howdy and welcome to us playing Kingdoms of Amalur. This is not Re-Reckoning, this is the original, this is Reckoning. But as you know, Re-Reckoning is just a remaster of the original game. So us playing Reckoning, the gameplay, while it might look a little different, is essentially all the same. The mechanics are all the same, the HUD is all the same, the missions and the plots and the gameplay is essentially all the same. So for this video, what I will be doing is just covering my character. I had actually was playing this game over for the third time earlier in this year, and I had stopped playing it, and then during the year the announcement for Re-Reckoning came out, and so now that it is out, I decided to put out some gameplay of me playing the game. This is my level 13 character, almost 14. His name is Samson. He's a battle mage. I am just going to, in this video, go over some of the basics of the game, mainly the basics of the character in terms of the abilities, the moves, statuses, and items that you get in the game in your inventory. So let's just start down the list. Let's start off with your inventory. So of course you see that the inventory is split up into these different categories. What we're going to be looking at specifically is just weapons and armor. So my main weapon, the game gives you the ability to have two weapons at the same time. So inside it separates your weapons into categories: long swords, great swords, hammers, staves, chakrams, daggers, blades. Me, I am more of a DPS, quick DPS character, so my main is usually chakrams or blades, daggers sometimes, but I'm not that much of a dagger user, it's only on occasion, and long swords. I try only to keep rare items because you get a lot of items in this game and the inventory size is very limited. You can increase it because, as you can see, mine is 80. When you start off the game, it's not 80. I think it's 60 or 70. I think 70 when you start off the game. So you can increase your inventory for a little while, but at the same time, size is very limited, so I try to keep just rare items. So for my long swords, I only have rare long swords. Same thing for my great swords. I don't even use great swords, but I'll keep my rare great swords because I don't like putting them in my my inventory in my home, which we'll get to soon after everything else, because it is an additional part of your inventory. But I'll finish that when we're done the character. Keep a hammer. I am a battle mage, so I do melee and magic, so I do keep staves as well. And yeah, like I said, my mains are chakrams. I have one of each element right now, and blades. So that's weapons. Armor now. Armor, they divide into particular categories as well. You have headpiece, chest piece, legs, feet, and shield. There is another category which is body, which is for robes, for persons that like to spec into magic. You can wear robes, and robes will take the place of both your chest and your legs. So where it is I have on a chest armor and a leg armor, if I had on a robe, it would take that slot entirely for both my chest and my legs. And yeah, it also gives you shield as an addition to part of your armor. And in terms of your armor, if you see on the top right corner of the screen, you have what's this number here, 357. This is your armor rating. The armor rating is based off of the armor value right here in the top right corner of the armor description. This is your armor value, and additionally, when you add up all of your armor values, it gives you this value. So my helm is giving me 75, my chest is giving me 116, my hands are giving me 33, my legs are giving me 43, my feet are giving me 23, and my shield gives me 61. Inside the description of this item, it gives you the requirements, The requirements are based off of your points, which we're gonna get into after this, after the accessories, and then it gives you some items when you find them come with different slots which you can put gems into, and gems basically increase the abilities of those items. For example, I have a tempo gem in, which is giving me extra to my melee block efficacy, and whenever you take up a shield, you will notice it usually has something about melee block efficacy. This one does not right now, but the melee block comes into is a part of your shield, because that's where you do your melee blocks from. And of course, the tempered gem is giving me 24 to my armor. So this 75 wasn't originally 75, it was 75 minus 24, which is 51. But because this item had a slot and I put in a gem worth 24 armor, it increased the total armor. And the infusing gem gives you 1.5 mana regen. As you know, mana is a part of the game. You have HP and mana, and this increases your HP and your mana regen. And so different items can have different stats. You find that rare items come in a set, or usually have more than one specific property. For example, this rare helm comes with all of these different properties at the same time. I still keep it because, as you can see, it's only giving me 14 armor, but I still keep it because of the different properties it has, basically. So yeah, each piece of item has different properties. They may come with slots that you can put in gems. So yeah, those are your armor. And now for your accessories, this is the last part we're going to be going through in inventory. You get necklaces and rings in the game, and these are also additional effects. For example, the empowering necklace gives me 0.2 mana regen, or the ballad signet ring gives me 5 damage and 5 damage resistance. So look out for these in the game. They're usually rarer than other items that you'll find. Like, I'll have this empowering necklace. You won't find this often. This doesn't really show up all that often because these items don't pop up that quickly in the game. But if you find them, look out for them. So after the inventory, we're going to go on to your abilities. So now, the way the game is designed, it has 3 distinct ability trees: might, finesse, and sorcery. Might has to do mainly with heavy weapons, which is the hammer, the great sword, in addition to the long sword. It deals with physical damage and sustenance of the character. So this skill tree boosts everything having to deal with unlocking attacks for your hammer, your sword, and your long sword and your great sword. This is for increasing damage on your long sword, increasing damage on your great sword, increasing damage on your hammer. This is a passive skill for increasing damage on stunned enemies. This is a main physical skill, active skill that you can use. It's really awesome. This is for boosting the damage with damage mitigation while blocking with your shield. This is a grappling hook. This is really a physical tree. Down the line, when you get to the end, you get some really good abilities like jumping into the air and causing a quake, and being able to survive death really easily, stuff like that. That's what the might tree is about. The finesse tree is basically the rogue tree. It has to deal with rogue weapons, the Fey Blade, the dagger. So this is about unlocking those abilities for those weapons. This is for and this is for also the bow as well. This is for increasing damage with your bow, increasing damage with your daggers, increasing damage with your Fey Blades, increasing the damage of your increase the size of your quiver. All of this is about stuff for your bows, increasing damage on quiver, giving it special effects. You get bombs, you get traps, you get a little launch technique, which is really good. This allows you to do sneak attacks with your dagger and your Fey Blade. You can add poison to weapons. This is a rogue center tree. So now the last tree is sorcery. Sorcery, of course, as you can imagine, has to do with magic. So your magic weapons, the staff, the scepter, and the chakrams, for unlocking those abilities. increasing damage with scepter, increasing damage with chakrams, increasing damage with staffs. You get a summon that you get eventually. You can increase your health. You can reduce your mana costs. You get a lightning attack, a fire attack, and you get a shield, and these level up as well. So that's what the sorcery tree is about. And basically each time you level, you will get points to put into these trees, and you get 3 points each level. And yeah, you just have to put points in the trees. Based off of the different points you put in determines the type of destiny that you can go about, and that's what we're going to look at next. Your destiny is defined by the amount of points you put into a particular tree. So for example, when you start off the game, you are the faithless one with no points in any tree, but then as you level, you unlock tier 1, which is brawler, 1 point in might, or acolyte, which is 1 point in sorcery, or rogue, which is 1 point in finesse. And then as you increase, the different combination of points that you get tells you what type of destiny you can unlock. So as example, guardian has 6 in might and 6 in sorcery, or fighter has 11 in might, or seeker has 2 in might, 2 in finesse, and 2 in sorcery. So based off the different points that you allocate into the different trees determines the type of destinies you can unlock. The game gives the ability to view all of them from before you even unlock them, so you can take a look and just go in and view them at the different combinations between finesse and sorcery, finesse and might, might and sorcery, and all 3 of them together. So yeah, finesse and sorcery, might and sorcery, might and finesse, might, finesse, and sorcery. And of course, each one of these destinies gives you a different, can give you different abilities. For example, might tier 4, which is warrior, is going to give you melee attack damage of 23%, block efficacy of 26%, and stun duration of 15. But I am currently at battle mage, which is 14 might, 14 sorcery, which gives me 30% damage received as mana, 17% elemental resistance, 10% melee attack damage, and I get a blink, a short range teleport, which replaces my dodge. Every character gets a basic dodge in the game. Because I am a battle mage, I no longer have the dodge, I have a teleport. So you can look out through the different abilities, look through them, read them, and check them out to see which combination you like and what abilities you want, so you can spec your tree accordingly before you even get to that level. The next thing we're going to take a look at is the moves. And moves, basically, as you progress through the game and as you put points into different trees, you may unlock different moves for your weapons. So the game shows you all the different types of moves you can unlock, and if you go into the trees for those abilities, you will see where to level them, as I described. And so it gives you the ability to go through and check all the different types of moves in the game for all the different weapons and all the different abilities, so check those out as well. And the very last thing I'm going to check, which is an addition to the let me check statuses. We're going to go to effects. There are negative and positive effects in the game. Sometimes you'll get these from praying when you find an altar. Sometimes you'll get them from when you're fighting in the game, if you're poisoned or if you get diseases, etc. Currently I'm getting my self-sufficient boon. When you start off the game, you have the ability to select one boon. The boon I selected was self-sufficient, so I get a bit more experience. But yeah, look out for those. If you're suffering from something, you can just come into this tab and find it, so you'll know exactly what it is you're suffering from, and it will tell you exactly how to get rid of it. And the last thing we will check is to go to our home. As you progress through the game, eventually you will get to this town, Canarok Town, and this is the first place that you'll be able to get a home. So when you get to this home, you'll be able to level it up in terms of putting in sagecraft altars or alchemist altars. There's a room upstairs which we're going to now, bedroom. There's a downstairs area as well, the basement, which you can also upgrade to have different stuff. That's my sagecraft altar, stuff for herbs and plants, etc., that you can grow if you're an alchemist. And the main thing here is this, your stash. The stash allows you to place items in there. It is not increasable, it is a one-time size, 155. And so normally once you get items in the game, your main aim is to try to get to this town so that you can unlock this house and put your items in there, because you get a lot of items in the game and it's hard to keep them all. So you get to store or you make extra items in here. These are the ones that I have in my bag right now, but as you can see, there's a limit and I already have stuff inside. So yeah, that's basically it. Just wanted to give you guys a rundown on the basics of the character and a little info into understanding some stuff in this game. So peace out, see you in the next one.